Hey, Poopa Stars. Hey. It's your girl, Shay Renee, and I want to welcome y'all back to my channel, okay? Yeah, shout out to that. Baby, I had some technical difficulties getting started this morning, you see? Because, like, oh, baby, when I say the kids, oh, hold on. Hold on, y'all. I didn't mean to give it up like that. You see? I ain't trying to drop that stuff. Not like that. But when I tell y'all the kids is out of school for the summer, yes, baby, it's about that time, you see. They out of school for the summer, so like, um, I just had to be quiet, you see? I just had to be quiet, okay? So anyway, shout out to that. But anyway, Poop Stars, good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. You see, we talking Diddy this morning. So shout out to that. Now hold on. Hold on. Cause I tried to like put my stuff away as good as I could, but it's not hiding like that. You see, it's not peeking and hiding like that. So yeah, that's better. You see, I like that. I like that a little better. It is what it is. Now, oh my God. It was another devastating day for Diddy in court, y'all. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And like, I'm like, oh my God, do you fire everybody now? You see, I told y'all, baby Diddy might as well throw down that wallet to them kids. You see, he just, I see what he doing, y'all. I see what he doing, and we're gonna have to see if it works for him. I mean, it just is what it is. Because the truth of the matter is, um, the prosecutors and stuff like that, they having their day in court. It just is what it is, baby. They having a field day. You see? Hey. Good morning. Shout out to you for jumping in my comments. Don't you forget to hit that like button, you see? Sade is having a field day with this man in court. I mean, you know, like, I don't watch tennis, you know what I'm saying? But I'm assuming when you watch a tennis match, it's like, you see? And like, that's how I'm expecting it to be in court, you know. In court, they supposed to be duking it out. Oh no, you gotta exit. You have to exit. No children here, okay? No children here. All right? But shout out to you. You have a good day. John. Oh my God, come on now. Come on, John. You on here talking about that too? No. This show is for grown-ups only. You see? You're gonna have to exit. Y'all gonna have to exit. Yeah. You gotta exit. Uh anyway, y'all. Now back to mm, mm, mm. You see, the New York crime boss. You know, it just is what it is. The alleged New York crime boss. You see, cause like, what the heck was Diddy thinking? Yeah. Oh my goodness. You see, um, mm, 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 mm. And they act like they don't want us to report on it. Child, bye. You're damn right we gonna talk about it, you see? Yeah, we finna gather. What? Child, you gonna be the topic of discussion, okay? And don't nobody care if you don't like it. Oh no, we don't care if you don't like it, Miss Preston Curl. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to like it. You see? But we all gonna sit around and talk about you fumbling that bag. Yeah, it just is what it is. You fumbled the bag, okay? Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Now listen, nobody on this earth is perfect, okay? God already told us that. It just is what it is. If you searching, listen, I hate to tell you, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you just ain't gonna find perfection, you see, in yourself, okay? So with that being said, oh, hey John, shout out to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out to you for jumping in my comments. MVP treatment, you see? Don't forget to hit the like button, John. Yeah, like nobody in this world, okay, earth is perfect, right? But like every day, we strive, you know what I'm saying? We strive throughout our journeys to be better. You know what I'm saying? Um, some more than others. I get that. Some of y'all was probably born a little bit closer to the perfection side. It is what it is. I refuse to believe that. But yeah, sounded good, didn't it? But still, with that being said, nobody on this earth is perfect, but still, we all working. You know what I'm saying? We all working. It's a work in progress, my brother. You know. And when I say that, I'm talking to Diddy. Shout out to you. But like, oh my God, it just is what it is. You let the community down, you know. Because seemingly, you know what I'm saying, he was out there letting this his demons, if you will, get the best of him. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Crazy. It's crazy and it's sad. You see? Yes, Miss Preston Girl. It's sad. It is. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, I keep making these jokes all the time about throw down your wallet. You see? Yeah. Throw down your wallet. Throw down the wallet to them kids, Diddy. Don't let them all suffer. You see? Yeah. Shout out to that. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? What's the word I'm looking for? Got it at the tip of my tongue. Hold on. Advocating. You see? I'm doing the best I can advocating for the children, you see? Mm, mm. Making sure that they, you know, get the keep on, keeping on, Mm. Like the song said. And it's like, yeah, Diddy, just throw it down. At this point, just throw down your wallet. You see? Just throw down the wallet. Don't let the kids suffer, Because like you taking, man, you was taking all damn earnings out with you, you see? On the 1 and the 2. He taking them out. That's what he doing. And ultimately, the kids are the ones who, will do the suffering. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like, no, this ain't that. They expected a little money up out of, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You grow up rich, you just, you see? You feel like you're going to get up out of here that way. And like I was saying, Diddy then messed around and got caught up by the feds. You see? more alphabet people, you know. And like, listen, listen. He ain't nobody special. You see, I just said he ain't nobody special. Okay. Word on the curb is they get you in their web, they got you. You know, they just got you. Like, gotcha. You see? And word on the curb is they want his money. You see, they want the boys' money too. I said, ugh, eek. What? Take the what and leave the what? You mean to tell me his black ass? Yeah. If I'm Diddy, you mean to tell me my black ass ain't enough for you? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You see? Hey. But anyway, shout out to Diddy and shout out to his lawyers because I see what they trying to do. Yeah, okay. I see the plot. It is what it is. But I see the plot. So shout out to that. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Track, you see. So anyway, child, we're gonna get into the testimony yesterday, which it started off slow and then speed it up. Ha! Yeah, it did. Why? What that mom? I don't know where that came from, but anyway, it just is what it is, child. You see, I got my handy dandy notes here. Now let's get into it. Christopher, okay? First out. Yeah, you see. I was ready, Miss Preston girl. All day yesterday I was ready. Ha! I was in court. At home, but in court. You see with Diddy. It just is what it is. Like, ugh. I'm trying to keep up. To hell with the Kardashians. I got to keep up with this, this Diddy stuff going on right now because it's crazy. See, all of it, Miss Preston girl. Mm. So anyway, I said, ever since Diddy been going through this, it's just been like playing in my mind, like all the stuff that celebrities be doing that we think is issuing them dollars. The people be running up on them, running down on them. You see, tell me where them dollars at, okay? And they be issuing them. And now it all makes sense. But what's crazy because at the end of the day, I'm starting to notice it's a pattern. It's a pattern. They be letting these celebrities issue out this settlement, issue out this settlement, issue out that dog. Yeah. Ready to take a bite out of crime. You see? Yeah. AKA they ass. Throw them in the slammer. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a pattern. And then come back. You see, it just is what it is. I'm seeing. So like the Rod Waves of the world. Yeah, Miss Preston Curl, while you steady, you know, allegedly losing it and you see, letting your rude rip. Yeah. Mm, you might want to pipe down. You might want to slow down, Rod. Okay? Like Bobby V said. All right? Slow down. I have talks with yourself. Like, remember when I want? What? What did I want? You know what I'm saying? Did I want to be pow-powing at hoochies in Atlanta and bonding out? You know what I'm saying? Or did I say I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that with my money and I was going to do this and I was going to do that? Lord, I don't know why you people can't just find a beach and sit down. You see? Yeah, y'all be so busy. It just is what it is. Y'all be so busy. Anyway, y'all, let's get into Christopher Ignacio. You see, Christopher Ignacio. Testimony, okay? First person I understand, 8 o'clock yesterday. Like I said, I was on this all day. I was on this all day. Went to sleep, woke up, ran an errand, got back on the court TV. You see, it just is what it is, though. Pressing times. Like a nail. We must. Let's go. Make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Hit the like. Hit the like. Hit the like. Hit the like. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You see, now that you know. Y'all hit the like button, okay? Period. Shout out to that. CJ. Hey, CJ, minus the so cool. Shout out to you for jumping in my comments. Good morning. Okay, happy Thursday. Have a good day. So, okay, so it started off with an officer, okay? Officer Ignacio on the stand, okay? He's describing how he got a call, you know, to Kid Cudi's residence, you know, uh about, you know, Diddy being over there unwanted, right? So he's saying as he's driving, he notices a black truck. Got the plate of the truck. The plate goes back to Bad Boy, okay? The company, Diddy's company, Bad Boy. They was asking him, did you follow the truck? Did you? No, I didn't do none of that. You see, fancy, fancy dancy neighborhood. You see, I'm not following these people out of here. These rich people got attitudes and friends in high places. You see, I'm not doing that, you know. Now, I put a little bit of on it. Yeah, he didn't say none of that. All he said was he saw a truck. He got the plate to it. The plate went back to Bad Boy, okay? Um, Let me just say, though, I took a note. They basically he took a report, and he reported what Diddy did was trespassing. I thought that was interesting. I said, wow, for real? Okay, that's how y'all give it up in LA? But I'm assuming it's because I think Kid Cudi admitted to like leaving his door open. So like, child, they would have never got that information out of me. It just is what it is. But you see, Miss Preston Curl got a little money. Okay. So he left his house with his hands, he left his house with the door open. And he was in a rush, you know what I'm saying? He was going to go get Cassie. Um, they asked him, did he see a Porsche? Which is what Kid Cudi was driving that day. No, I didn't see no Porsche. I said, okay, so that means Capricorn was probably right. Capricorn's account of the story that she gave, saying that Kid Cudi got the hell on when he seen him. Yeah. It's sounding a little right now, okay? It just is what it is. Now the police, they said, I forgot what they said. They described Diddy. I think they asked, was Cudi frantic or something like that? And the police officer said he would describe Kid Cudi as tense. You see, he was just tense. And then so he described him as tense, and you know, that was basically that. Like, I didn't get a lot out of Officer Ignacio, which they was calling him Christopher yesterday. I see why. Because his last name is a fool. But anyway, So that was that. You know what I'm saying? Not too much from the officer. Okay. And just like suspected, just like I suspected, Diddy's team, just I'm telling y'all, I see what I see y'all. Okay. I do. I see what's going on with Diddy and all them damn lawyers he got. It just is what it is. We waiting to attack. We waiting on them to attack in court, and that's not how they gonna do it. That's not how they gonna play it. They gonna do it a different way. But listen, oh, but they tried. Oh yes, Miss Pressicura tried yesterday. Hold on, we're gonna get there. So then next on the stage, yeah, it's starting to feel like a show. Mm, for real. But next on the stand was Lance Jimenez. Okay. Lance was like, ugh, I forgot to write down his title. But I know he's like he does fires, right? Investigating and stuff like that. He said he do like 100 of them a year. I know that. Um he got on the stand. He was basically testifying that who did that Mazatau thing, you know what I'm saying, where they threw the fire into Kid Cudi's car. He was basically saying whoever did that was an amateur. It was an amateur. Because if they would have did it right, they could have set it off in that motherfucker. You see? Yeah. Like the movie. Okay. If whoever did that would have did it right, and like use more stuff for the stuff that they had, they could have really caused some damage, what I'm saying, to the point where the car could have really set on fire, and then, grass and all that other stuff too, okay? But they didn't really know what they was doing. It was an amateur, I would say. It was an amateur. Now, they asked him, okay, they said, can somebody touch something and they DNA not be on it? And they was like, objection. Because basically what they getting at is they keep saying, oh, one thing about court, you're gonna have to hear it over and over again. Yeah, like Nelly said, over and repeat after me, repeat after me, repeat after me. And then another thing, hold on, I get there. But again, he was asked, can somebody touch something and they DNA not be on it? Objection. They didn't want him to answer that. I'm not feeling that. Why? You see? Why? Why he can't answer that? Because telling us that it was like a woman's DNA on there. Quit telling us that. You see? We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care because it's some stuff that y'all trying not to tell us. I don't like that. Y'all know one thing about me? I don't like no half of no story. Yeah, don't come here with that, Miss Pressicura. Don't come here with no 0.25. One fourth, none of it. You see? It's all or nothing, okay? You keep to yourself. Because, some people try to play you sometimes with half of the story. Man, go ahead on with that. Thinking that you ain't got the smarts to piece it all up together. But then what makes you think I even got the time to want to piece that all together? Go ahead on. You see? I said, I'm too busy. Okay, I'm too busy for that. So then here comes the drama, okay? Just a little courtroom drama, okay? Because he they started asking about some type of cards, okay, that was damaged. They was either cards was either damaged or missing, okay? Come to find out something about some fingerprints. Something about some fingerprints, right? So they got the tripping up in there. Like, yeah, they got the tripping. asking for a sidebar, asking to come talk to the judge and all of that. It was a mess. And so, they basically said that the prosecutor did something that they shouldn't have did. So they start asking for a mistrial yesterday. I said, oh Lord, here we go. Here we go, Miss Person Curl. I told y'all, you see, Diddy lawyers, I don't feel like they in court for the drama. You see, mm-mm, mm-mm. They in court for the technicalities of it all. They not really trying to win the argument, okay? Because the argument can't be won. Flat out. Like, these people are like, man, please. Stuff that he can't even defend. They can't even defend him like that. They can't. So what they doing is they waiting on that. You know you didn't fucked up moment. You know you didn't fucked up moment. You see, like the man said on Menace to Society. Shout out to that. Hit the like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Period, point blank. I don't care what else is going on. It just is what it is. You got to hit the like button, okay? So shout out to that. And subscribe if you haven't already, okay? Welcome to the channel. We have a funky good time here. So they started asking for a mistrial, and the judge was like, no. You see? No. The judge started helping them try to figure it out. So they could keep it going. Now I heard somebody say yesterday that a mistrial helped Diddy. How? I thought mistrials do help the defendant in some way. So anyway, I need to do, it's going to take a little bit more education there for me, you see. But anyway, so after that, back on the stand, the man goes, and he really didn't have much else more to say. That was that. And so after them tripping, then here comes the damaging testimony, okay? Here comes you see, that 1, 2, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Hit Diddy in the chest, It just is what it is. And it's crazy, too. Diddy got to sit up there and listen to all of that. And it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not damaging, but it's close to that, though. It's like, it's just tearing down the Diddy that we all thought we knew. It just is what it is. Like, all the, man, crazy. But anyway, Deontay Nash, he gets up there. And let me just say, Deontay, he seemed like a really cool person. It just is what it is. Like, because they captured him walking in the courtroom and like, yeah, baby, he had a moment. You see, he had a little moment. But he did say he was subpoenaed and he didn't want to be there. Okay, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that at all. He even ended his testimony, you know what I'm saying, by saying he don't hate Diddy. He don't have no hate towards Diddy. So, they was trying to get that understood. Like, it's not people with malicious intent in here coming to testify on you. You know what I'm saying? This is people who were essentially drug here. You know what I'm saying? They was dragged here to testify on you. And like, they just ultimately ain't trying to get in trouble, though. They ain't trying to get in trouble. They don't want to lie for you. He got up there and he testified. The very first thing he was saying is, Cassie said Diddy would make her do freak offs. She didn't really want to. They asked him, did she want to? He said no. She said she didn't want to. He was there for the 29th birthday freak out. He testified that Diddy wanted Cassie to do a freak off on her birthday. For real? Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Mm, mm, mm. You know, Diddy was forever taking miles on these people. You know what I'm saying? Because they was giving them the inches. He was God damn it, he was gunning for the mile. Okay, he was gonna get the mile out of them. Sadly, oh, I hate when my alarm go off. That shit be scaring the shit out of me. For real. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Y'all just looking at me like, I need y'all to hit the like, okay? It is what it is. Shout out to y'all though. Shout out to everybody who watch it right now. Hold on. Yeah, he testified that y'all can hear me, right? He testified that he called her out her name a lot. Bitchhoe. Um, what else? The S word. SLU. You know, all of that. All of that. You know, just the same thing all the other 18 people that said. You know what I'm saying? Because we down there 3 weeks in, 20 people. Okay? 20 people. And so far, it's just been like, man, a prosecution show. Prosecution show. And now I also see why they be saying, like, the feds, they something else, you see? Because, like, these witnesses, like, it's so interesting of a story to tell. Like, it's crazy. Because, like I was saying, they repeat a lot, right? Like for instance, Cassie, she will talk about a party, and then 15 people later on will talk about the same party. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting because, well, one, it's kind of like, okay, we're hearing this again, you know? But it's the interesting part is you hear it from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, they got their own um other stuff that they're gonna tell about the story too. Like for instance, he talked about a party that Cassie talked about. Um, but he added his own stuff too. You know what I'm saying? That made his testimony interesting and powerful. Because he talked about, you know, other things, you know, that probably wasn't mentioned by Cassie, like Diddy threatening her a lot. He said all the time, you know. He threatened her a lot. He threatened her by saying he won't drop her music. He won't release her music. Um, and he even said that he will get her parents fired. See, we haven't heard that yet. You know? So like he corroborating Cassie's story. He's saying some of the stuff Cassie even said. You know what I'm saying? But he adding his own stuff too. Hey Emery. Good morning. Shout out to you. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. So anyway, um, he also testified that, okay, first of all, too, let me just tell y'all, he was a stylist. Okay, sorry, let me backtrack. He was a stylist. His job, his initial job was an intern. He was doing some type of interning, but he ended up being upgraded to a stylist. Okay, hired through Craigslist, too, by the way. I said, that was wild. That was wild, but for real. He said he saw a bad boy ad on Craigslist, and he applied, got the job. Now, he worked for Diddy 10 years. Okay, like during the Cassie era, it just is what it is. That was during Cassie's time. You know. And then another thing that I thought was interesting about his testimony, he also corroborated Cassie's story, okay, by saying that all of Diddy's staff and stuff like that became her family. They were really, really close. She was really, really close to them. And that's true. Because I know that some people was calling him Cassie's best friend. And I'm like, damn, right off of Craigslist. was able to get in, you know what I'm saying, and be a close friend of Cassie's in such a short time. I was like, okay. Well, like she said, she was really, really dependent on the people that she was around every day. So again, and then he said, Diddy said, don't go out without his permission. He would trip with them. He would trip with them. Like they would go out and he would trip with them. He would come around tripping. Like he said, one time they went out to a club and Diddy called and Cassie was, you know what I'm saying? He told Cassie, bring your ass. You know what I'm saying? You better bring your ass. Um, the man also testified that he was like involved with Cassie's music in some type of way. He did. He said she recorded often, but only about 10% of her music was being dropped. Like he testified that she was making music, but it wasn't really getting um put out like that. Then one time Diddy came and was checking Cassie for not answering her phone. Start fighting on her. Didn't I tell you not to not didn't I tell you to answer your phone? You know what I'm saying? And started hitting on Cassie. To the point where this man jumped in. Okay? His name is Nash. Deontay Nash. He jumped in. Hey, hey, good morning. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, MVP, for stopping at my comments. Don't forget the like button. Yeah, he said he jumped on his back. He got threw off, him and this other girl named Mia, but he said he tried. And Cassie ended up hitting her head on the bed and then started bleeding. And Diddy kept punching. You see? Like that didn't stop him. The girl Mia went and ran and got towels. He's talking about some look what y'all done made me do. And said that Cassie to plastic surgery. She was gonna end up going to plastic surgery. And I said, Diddy, you stupid. Dumb Diddy. You know, like who does that? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's just like he let his guard down. Ultimately, you know, he thought he did, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? It worked for a good little long while. You know, between people being scared and being paid, they was quiet. You know, it just is what it is. But like, why would you say that in front of them? She gonna go to plastic surgery. That was crazy. So, security. He testified that security ended up taking Cassie. And he might have seen her the next day on FaceTime, something like that, but she was gone. Then he said one time at Diddy house while they cooking, Diddy just came and told everybody to get out, and started pulling Cassie by her hair, and he didn't have no hair, so he ended up getting popped in the head. I said, ooh, child. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Your boss. Your boss. On you. But he said when they Diddy called. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. And then ran to the car and was threatening Cassie. Threatening Cassie. Um, in mirror. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You see? So shout out to that. Amir said, I have nice character. Appreciate that. Yeah. So Diddy comes to the car and he's like threatening Cassie, you know, again. Like, I'll put the tapes out. You know what I'm saying? I will. I send the tapes to mama, your daddy. I send it to their jobs and get them fired. Um, and so he said he like, but he on the tapes too. The hell he gonna do with the tapes for real? You know what I'm saying? And he said that's when Cassie told him, no, Diddy ain't on the tapes though. He filming me. You know what I'm saying? He got me on tape with other men. She said that's when the cat came out the bag with that. Uh, And he said, she didn't want to. She did not want to. Then he said also Diddy came to his house before. Searching it, looking for Cassie, all in the oven and stuff. You see, like, my God. Tracking her down, dog. It just is what it is. Corroborating her story. Well, like if she was so into it, if she did it for the money. She wanted the money. She wanted the lifestyle. She liked, like some people say. Then why he gotta do all this? You see, why he had to do all of that? Um, Cassie ended up calling from a room. Diddy said, "Go get her." You know what I'm saying? So they went and left. Cassie was scared. She wasn't trying to go with them. So the man testified to Cassie was like, "Should I jump off the balcony?" I'm like, "Oh Lord." Um, I don't know, cause y'all know it's bits and pieces, and we only getting a little bit. We ain't really getting the full story, the full scope. So I don't really know exactly how it went. But he said something about like, I don't know. I guess he ended up going to the hotel, or I don't know. But all I know is something. He was there, and security ended up riding behind him. You know what I'm saying? He said he had to like basically cut his lights off and hit it. You see, he said he had to just flee basically from Diddy now because Diddy told his security to follow him. He was saying they was following him. So he said he went to a room for the night, and when he went home, uh, he noticed that $1,000. And then they said something about, well, so why do you always keep $1,000 cash? He said for when Diddy go to tripping. I said, wow. And I thought that was interesting. He said when Diddy go to tripping, he wouldn't go home. He'll go get him a room or something, like in another name. And I'm like, New York, like, how y'all do it down there? You know what I'm saying? Because down here, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, like, you walk in a hotel to get a room and they be like, "Can I see your ID?" So was y'all using fake IDs? Or in New York you could just get a room. Like I could just walk in there and say my name is Martha Stewart and get a room. You see? Cause I noticed like they did aliases a lot. Now I will say this though. Back in the day, fake IDs used to be more of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, not so much, but back in the day, yes. So was they using fake IDs? I don't know. But anyway, again, he said when he will be ducking and dodging Diddy, that's crazy. He will go get him a room. Um, that's crazy. Like, was his apartment being paid for by a bad boy too? Cause that's the thing. But still, it's crazy. But if they paying for your apartment and stuff, of course, they feel like they could pull a kick dog. But that's crazy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Because mm, mm. They asked him, did he tell anybody? He said KK. Okay. He said he told KK. Uh, and then he testified that one time Cassie had a premiere that she had a black eye for. See, I'm trying to see. I know the makeup artist came through, but I never heard the makeup artist like testify to, putting makeup on Cassie. Like I had to put makeup all over her body and stuff like that. I testimony. That's why, oof. Child, I wish I could have went to New York. You know what I'm saying? For this silliness, this foolishness. And shout out to Cassie too, who had a baby. She had her baby. Congratulations to her and her husband Alex on their new baby. Once he was smoking a cigarette, and Diddy walked up to him, threw him on the car, and started choking him. So now we have an employee, you know what I'm saying, can testify that, like, yeah, not just Cassie. He was hitting on me too. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Now this is the thing I noticed. Sometimes one thing about people who look like that, we always try people who look like that. Now I noticed that the men before him who have testified never testified to no violence, but they, So now it's gonna be interesting to see if they say did he put his hands on a YT man. That I want to know. Okay. Hey, you too, Emery. Shout out to you for jumping in my comments. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hit that like button, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Come on back. Um, did she talk about? Let's see. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if he was putting his hands on other people. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we be feeling, I don't know. I would say we feel safe with each other. You know. Now he said he also testified that like when Diddy couldn't find Cassie, he would do the fool calling him. You know what I'm saying? 100 times over and over and over and over again. He didn't say 100 times, but he said he would blow his phone up when he couldn't find Cassie, and so would KK. Okay, Rico, y'all. Why y'all keep like people they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear the evidence when it's just being put out. Like it's just, hey, yes, Miss Pressy Girl. Did she ever talk about the hotel stays? Yes. She said she didn't want to go. She didn't want to do it. And weekly she would pack toys for them. Did she say she wanted to? Objection. You know what? I'ma start saying. I said to myself, I'ma start saying something different now, cause it just, I don't know. First I said no, you know what I'm saying, cause it's old school, it's court. I like it, you know what I'm saying. But when they say overruled or sustain, I said now when they start saying overruled, I'ma say sit down. You see, sit down. And I forgot what I was gonna say for sustain. We sitting. We want to say that, but like, yeah, objection. The judge said overruled. So he said she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. Hey, 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 good morning. Good morning. Is it? Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. It just seemed like it ain't in my control. Like it's something that's out of my control. Which is crazy too, because my stuff did an update in my sleep last night. Yeah, I woke up to a update. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I like, yeah. Um, but yeah. So he got into the freak outs. And he said she don't want to do them. She just don't want to do them. Man, I hope my stuff quit tripping. Y'all let me know, okay? Y'all let me know. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button too. Uh, she didn't want to go. One night, he said Diddy told them y'all gonna get some dick tonight. I said, who is them? Y'all go get some tonight. I think he was kind of like singing the Big Sean song. being funny or whatever. But yeah, that's just how I took it. But Cassie said she didn't want to go. But the man testified that she left. You know what I'm saying? She left. She left with Diddy. High as a kite. That's what the man said. Um, then one time he testified that they was in Vegas trafficking. Um, Rico, all of it. You know what I'm saying? He testified that one time they was in Vegas and Cassie was just playing sleep. Playing sleep. Seemingly. Now he never said she was playing sleep, but he did say that like Diddy was talking about she been asleep for 24 hours. And like she would only wake up for him. So, You know what I'm saying? In other words, they act like she was just laying there. Like just over it. You see? Just over it, Miss Preston girl. And he said though that, he heard Diddy talking mess. Like, she got to. You know what I'm saying? I done spent all this money. No, they never said, but I think he was hinting at a freak off. Child, so that was all the courtroom's testimony yesterday. And it was good, child. It was good. It was good. It was explosive. Like the stylist, he came through. He did. He came through. He did his thing. And one thing that I think the prosecution did good at is just letting it be known that like these people are running in here ready and so ready and happily ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like now a lot of them are being forced to come to court and have to tell their truth. Um at one point, so the defense got him on cross and the defense couldn't do nothing with him really. At one point they tried to make it seem like you hired a civil attorney. Are you thinking about suing Mr. Combs? No. Did you tell KK that you was gonna sue Mr. Combs? No. You know what I'm saying? Like he shut that down. So quit trying to act like everybody wants some money too. Everybody don't want money. Everybody's not upset with Diddy. A lot of these people feel like, that was just a chapter in their life. You know what I'm saying? That was just a chapter in their life that at the end of the day, he wasn't beating on them. You know what I'm saying? So like you got a lot of them who are saying that I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I don't know malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? Almost like I wish him well type of people. And I think that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful because that just speaks to like you was child, you was fucking up. You see, it just is what it is. Like you got on that video and said, I was fucked up. You were. You were. You absolutely were. Okay. And you was in the video too. But that's another story for another day. You see? Um, but child, I ain't mad at him for trying to fight for his life though. Because that's what he's supposed to do. Um, Seriously. It is what it is. Because I keep telling y'all, Diddy can't afford to do no type of time. You give him 10 years, he gonna get out at 65 years old. Now I ain't gonna lie, 65. I think Russell might be 65. That don't look too bad. That don't look too bad. But I just feel like, man, Diddy better hope. Which a minimum of 15, okay? The most he could do is life. A lot of people keep saying I don't think he gonna do no life. I don't think Diddy gonna do no life. But I also think this is the feds, right? And I also keep telling y'all that these people don't like going to trial. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, you going to trial alone gonna get you a little bit more than what you was gonna get at first. So that's crazy to me. But it is what it is. Now, hold on. These files went in for a mistrial. Yeah. Now, I took some final notes, y'all, for my final thoughts, okay, on yesterday's testimony. And my final thoughts was these folks went in for a mistrial. I was like, for real. You see, I couldn't believe that they did that. But I wasn't surprised because I told y'all that right now, seemingly, apparently, Diddy's team does not have much argument for the prosecution or these witnesses. You see, it's just, I'm used to, you know, there being some, like I'm just used to defense attorneys firing back and trying to discredit people, and um, basically like just giving the courtroom a show. And like that has not been the case. You know what I'm saying? That has not been the case at all with Diddy stuff. Now I will say this though, there's a lot of court left. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of court left though. I heard somebody say just recently, they not even really halfway through. So, it's still a lot to be seen. But I'm going off right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. The vibe I get from them right now. And right now, the vibe I've been getting from Diddy's team is like, yeah, if they do something wrong, we're gonna pounce. You know, like any and everything. They already been sending for appeals. They Cuddy stuff taken out. Some more stuff they didn't put in for a mistrial. I'm telling y'all right now, they want to win on technicality. So in other words, like yesterday, they tried to say that the government did something wrong, so can we get a mistrial? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. They up in there to make sure that the government and the judge crosses their T's and dots all their I's. You see, because they combing and they gunning for any mistakes so they can appeal it. And so it's another way to win. That's not to say that they can't win like that. I'm just saying I see their tactics. You know what I'm saying? That's what their tactics are. It is what it is. Just like I told y'all, uh, one of Diddy's lawyers, I believe, was on Bill Cosby's team, right? And remember, Bill Cosby ended up being found guilty, went to jail for a little time, but then they ended up having to let him out. You know what I'm saying? I think his stuff got overturned, if I'm right. I think his verdict got overturned. You know what I'm saying? Meaning they ended up getting a W for Bill Cosby, but not before, you know? So, yeah, I just feel a team of really smart attorneys on his ride. I will say that. I told y'all. I told y'all. That's what they was gonna come with. Um, and I could just tell. Because they ain't got nothing in court for these witnesses. They really can't do nothing with these people. 18 witnesses in. And they just are pointing the finger at Diddy. I'm telling you, down. Throw down your wallet. For them kids. You see? It just is what it is. Don't let the kids suffer, okay? Because they're going to, it is what it is. The kids is used to a certain lifestyle. That's not funny. Because I think they should still have it. Okay? Yeah. Nah, but for real. Um, Now, I also took note. I said Jimenez, the fire marshal Bill. No, I'm just playing. But for real, I didn't get his title. My bad, y'all. But the man that was investigating the fire, he was. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay. Truth be told, just I'm telling y'all, these is my final notes, my final thoughts. He was persistent. Yes, indeed. I mean, it just is what evidently Cuddy must have told him he thought Diddy did something to his car. Torn up. And I would have blew Capricorn up. To the point where he said she had her brother, which I don't believe it was her brother at all. I don't. I believe it was probably Bad Boy staff. But that's just, that's me assuming or guessing, if you will. I don't know that to be a fact. But she even had her brother answer phone. She don't want nothing to do with you. You see, Miss Presser Curl, kick rock. Um, but yeah, I made a note of that. He was persistent, baby. He was trying to get his case closed or whatever. Get his he what he needed for his case. It just is what it is. Like he say he never had closed. Yeah, and then I said, dang, the best friend. I took a note of that too. I was like, so you were a stylist from Craigslist, and then they just started calling you Cassie's best friend. And that was interesting to me. I said, okay, Cassie didn't lie. Like she really had nobody for real. Like nobody. Just the people that Diddy put around her. With because I feel like Diddy thought that he can trust the people that he put around Cassie. But the truth of the matter is he barely knew him. He didn't care if he trusted him. He thought he could control him. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because they ended up taking a liking to Cassie. And ultimately they was helping her. It just is what it is. They was helping Hey Diddy, Play Diddy, all of that. You see? And yeah. I made a note also. I was like, I wonder how many Cassies are in the industry. For real. I wonder how many Cassies are in the industry. Now used to be all of that. You see? Because I see right now, like, just like what I'm saying, I was on some seemingly. Now I'm like, no. That man literally was dangling that girl's career over her head. And it's sad because you got so many people who act like they don't understand somebody willing to do anything, you know what I'm saying, to get better for themselves. Seriously, seriously. I feel like you got a lot of people when there's money involved and their livelihood, you got a lot of people that I feel like will do questionable things. Things that shame them, you know. Uh Things that they don't want to do, you know. Shoot. Like I can only imagine. I feel like uh regular people deal with that type of stuff day to day, you know. Um Hit with ultimatums ultimately, on their job, forced to do things that they don't want to do, forced to do things that um Just like indirect threats. You know what I'm saying? On your livelihood. Like, you got so many people who will, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like dance. You know what I'm saying? Or tap dance. For some money. You know what I'm saying? For some money. Just to pay their bills. Um, I'm serious. Like, you got a lot of people who do stuff that they don't want to do every day at their regular job. You know what I'm saying? But act like they can't understand. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Especially, you know what I'm saying, if you got some money. Especially if you got some money. You know? Like, for instance, Boosie. I don't like the way Boosie be trying to act like he don't understand. You know? Uh, to me. You know what I'm saying? Knowing damn well. You know damn well money be the root. You know what I'm saying? So all of it. So it's crazy. But anyway, I also made a note at how I was like, that's crazy. It took a gay man to step up to Diddy. Y'all, y'all think about that for a second. I was like, it took a gay man, you know what I'm saying, to have a little heart and try to stop Diddy from fighting on Cassie. I said, that reminds me of what I was just telling y'all the other day. I feel like you got a lot of men who will sit back and let a man hit a woman. A lot of them. I said, but that was interesting to me. That was interesting to me. I said, it took a gay boy to, you know what I'm saying? I said, shout out to him and shout out to that. I like that. I did. I like that. And I took a note of it, you know? Because like I was trying to tell y'all, and I didn't really know how to say it, but after I thought about it a little bit more yesterday, you know what I'm saying, and marinated on it, I was like, it's almost like this a rule. I wouldn't call it a rule, but it's like this unspoken thing where, like, a lot of men who will sit back and let a woman get put on, hit on. It just is what it is. Even men who don't do that type of thing themselves. Even men who don't agree with that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of them who ain't finna do nothing about it though. I'm not gonna say it's almost like it's normalized. You know what I'm saying? Um, no, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy. But shout out to him though. Shout out to Nash for that though. Cause he did. He wasn't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was scared of Diddy too. You know what I'm saying? He was scared of Diddy too. But shout out to him though for stepping up and, like, yeah, at least trying. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help that woman. For real. I said, okay. Shout out to him. Anyway, he said he kept money on him. Okay, so yeah, I was asking about the hotel thing. In New York, can you just walk up and get a hotel? Can I just walk up and be like, yeah, my name is China White. I'm gonna need a room. Like, how's that working? Just a thought, my final thought. And then last but not least, I said to myself, Diddy. Diddy. Mr. Scraping and Scrambling himself. Okay. I'm like, he was so far gone, y'all. For real. I know a lot of people. See, this is the thing. Some people be in denial. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Um, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Cause it's like, this is the thing. Like, I consider myself a fan of Diddy, but I don't consider myself like a diehard fan, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, Capricorn was in court talking about, I had the biggest crush. You absolutely not. You see, I ain't never had no crush on Diddy. Never looked at Diddy like that. Never went to no concert. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I still consider myself a fan because a lot of the music, you know what I'm saying, the music and stuff like that, I've rocked with. Probably didn't buy some Sean John before. I know I didn't buy the. I mean, it just is what it is. But at the end of the day, I think we have some disappointment. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. It be disappointment there, y'all. Because I think, honestly, it's like, I'm not going to call it a rule. I always want to go there. It's like but it's not. But it's like a unspoken thing that, like, we be rooting for people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Ultimately, we root for people that look like us. You know? Um, it just is what it is. It don't matter what they doing. They could be Shakiri, you know, winning races. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never been in this and that. I think that ain't what we want for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But we proud of her. You see, um, for living out her dreams. You know what I'm saying? We just be happy for accomplished people. It is what it is. Shoot. And don't go get some money for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And your family. Like, we really happy for you. So I don't know how to explain it. It's a letdown, if that makes sense. It's just like a letdown. It's almost like it's no different than anybody that you was rooting for in life, almost get there and then stop. So, like, I don't know. Anything that you could think of. I mean, anything you could think of. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's disappointing. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody you care about drop out in the 12th grade. That's disappointing. You know, um, only needing a few credits to get the degree and then quitting. That's disappointing. Being close to anything and then losing it is disappointing. So, like, that's how we feel about Diddy. It just is what it is. His most far way in the back supporters. That's how we feel about him. Now, so imagine the people that's been up close in front, up close, up front, and personal. I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? I bet you it's even way Stevie J. Child, don't even get me started on Keisha Cole. I swear I thought about Keisha Cole. I did, child. For real, this is interesting too. Y'all know I always got some interesting shit to say. So shout out to that. That just is what it is. But do y'all remember when Keisha Cole worked with Diddy and she on that song last night? Couldn't even get an answer. Now hold on. Yeah, somebody, y'all let me know. Look that song up. See when Diddy and Keisha Cole made that bop. Because that was a bop. Y'all know that's a bop. But baby, Keisha Cole, she said Diddy was on her head about the production of that song. You see? Um, For real. Seriously. She said Diddy didn't play with her when song. And you know she ain't lying. You know she ain't lying. Because it jammed. You see, it jammed. She said Puff put her through it for that record. For real. She said, like, he wanted to hear the pain in her voice, and you can hear it. For real. Like, Keisha Cole ran circles around that song, y'all. For real. You know what I'm saying? I almost got a little... For real. You know what I'm saying? It jammed. And then when you think about what was being put into it to make it, because she said, I believe her. You know what I'm saying? She said Diddy wasn't playing with her when it came to that song. And you could just tell by the way she's singing it on that motherfucker. For real, even when they sing it live, like, Keisha go off. Like, for real. But when you think of Puff stalking, you see? Yeah. Talk about some last night. You, like, he want to curl up like a child. And it's like the letdown. You know what I'm saying? You had me doing all of that. Like, you was in your bag. You had me in my bag. You know what I'm saying? Recreated art. That's a bad record, child. It is. Might listen to it later on, for real. That's a bad mama jamma. You see? But like, you see, Miss Preston Girl. To turn around and be in court for what you in court for today, it just don't make no sense. You know, you see, you talking about a huge letdown. Yes, let's talk about it, Miss President Curry. You see, like, it's like, so when y'all say we tearing people down, no, we not. No, we not. We just what it is. We talking about it. Damn it. It is. Hey, you see. We can talk about what. So we can talk about you when you're up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, for real. It's a huge letdown. Yeah, I don't lost. You know, that's sad. You know, like, it's crazy. Like, we don't be wanting to see stuff like that. You know, for our people. It is what it is. You know, it's like any hero. See, I really didn't get into that stuff. I mean, anybody that you could, like, you really, really looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Um, or you was rooting for, or you admired their story. You know, it just is what it is. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's really sad to see Puff going through what he going through. Because at the end of the day, it seemed like choices. It seemed like choices. It seemed like he just chose the wrong path for himself. You know what I'm saying? And he kept choosing it over and over again. You see, like Nelly said on the song. Yeah, he did. That's what he did. So it's crazy. And then, yeah, so my last and final thought was, man, this man got so far gone. He was so... They're like, he wasn't even really trying to hide the freak outs like that no more. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. you know? Like, I felt like people knew what he was upset about, you know? And then it's sad, right? After story, you see? After story. You know what I'm saying? Um, about him hitting and fighting on Cassie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he should have did a better job at, like, no, I mean, it is what it is. Because at this point we look behind freak house. All behind freak house. And I could see that. I could see that. If you wanted a freak off every week, every week, yeah, Miss President Girl. It's possible. Just about. Just about. It's like, I don't think she wanted to. Every week. You know what I'm saying? So my common sense tells me that, like, yeah, like they were constantly, other people. Wow to me. I mean, out of all things that you could fumble your bag over, you chose that. Hell. I mean, you might as well you might as well, like, blew it all up in smoke. I'd rather him been on that. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I feel like as a community or just a human, somebody that's been living for a while, understand addictions. You know what I'm saying? You can not completely, you know what I'm saying, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. Um, you can sympathize with that, and empathize with that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just hurting, you know, hurting and dealing with the stress of the world by getting high. You see, high, all the day. It is you see. I mean, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but that's that, I mean, you see? Like, people got to understand it for that. But what Puff was doing, ain't nobody, you know? I feel like a lot of people don't have no understanding for that. A lot of people ain't gonna have no understanding for that. The only people that's gonna have understanding for that is people who uh deal with the type of stuff Puff deal with, though. Yeah, I gotta keep it real. Because I do believe that there is a whole community of people. But the only thing is, though, like, I don't know how to put it. It's like they're all still quiet. You know what I'm saying? And while the world is still focused on other addictions like drugs, like, that's the main focus, right? Like, that's what everybody talk about and stuff like that, um it's just not a lot of focus on that. It's not a lot of talk about that. It's, to me, it's no different than, like, LBGQ. You know what I'm saying? To be gay back in the day is not the same as being gay now. You know, um, the community isn't so hidden. You know what I'm saying? Now they can all see each other. You know what I'm saying? And support each other. The stuff that Puff is dealing with, um, they don't have no community like that. They not hidden. I mean, they all hidden. They don't have the support like that. You know what I'm saying? For real. Um, yeah. They don't, it just is what it is. Like ain't nobody, you know, um, it's real like quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like don't nobody want to talk about that. That man, y'all remember that one man that he burnt himself just recently to the coffee shop and he was doing something he shouldn't be doing. Remember? In front of the coffee worker. She ended up putting him on social media. He ended up murking himself because he was too embarrassed by his actions. See, that's what I'm saying. People like him. People like him. To me, they don't really have an outlet. They still all hiding and you the world don't have a lot of sympathy for them. They don't have a lot of empathy for them. And I take it a step further. We don't really have a lot of understanding towards the, you know, their thought process or even what they going through. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, man, it's for them. You know? I'm just saying, like, going by what Diddy going through, clearly it's more them. You know? And I take it a step further. I know Terry Crews had mentioned something about having an S addiction, the S word addiction. Who else? It seemed like Kanye said something about some type of addiction. Don't quote me. I don't know what kind. I don't know if it's an S addiction with Kanye or the P word addiction with Kanye. But I will just say this though. I feel like it's not enough support for people like them. You know what I'm saying? So now here we are. You know, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Um, Diddy dealing with what he needs to in court now. You know what I'm saying? But it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. If he would have just got a hold of himself way earlier, way earlier. Like Puff, the truth of the matter is somebody should have been and stopped Puff. Um, honestly, I think Cassie took on that role though. You know what I'm saying? I do. I think Cassie was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to put a stop to this. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, I think a lot of people, like for instance, you know, a lot. I don't think Cassie was jealous of Carisha. I think that Carisha like a victim. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. No jealousy, but more like sad for you. Sad for you. You know what I'm saying? That you being victimized by the same person and me wrong. You know, it just is what it is. Ultimately, um, I feel like Cassie stepped up to the plate. It is what it is. I think she stepped up to the plate, and she finally was like, you know what, I'ma speak out about this. It is what it is, and I take it a step further. I think it forced Diddy. You see, absolutely forced him to figure it out. To figure it out, because now he either he in jail figuring it out. Shoot, then they forced of life without that stuff, or he paying the inmates. You see, he paying the inmates and the guards and shit. You know, like eventually, you see where I'm getting at. It's gonna come to an end. And I take it a step further. He told me he like to see people do the hanky panky. Even if he is seeing them, even if he is seeing them do the hanky panky. Probably ain't weekly, and he probably don't get to participate. You know, he probably don't get to do. I bet you he ain't doing hair. He ain't sitting up in no luxury hotel no more, funking up they spot. Yeah, Funk Master Flex. Let's talk about it. So, yeah. At the end of the day, it was to the point where, like I said, it was where Diddy was snapping on her and fighting on her, you know, and shoot, Nash, the stylist, he testified that he felt like it was because she didn't want to do a freak off. You know, he said he heard Diddy saying, "I done spent all this money, she got to," you know, type stuff. So I think ultimately Diddy might have thought people didn't know, but some people knew. You know what I'm saying? So like it just no, it got to a point, you see, where he was really, really getting out of hand. And I want to say this before I get out of here too. Um, I believe Lil Rod. You know, I do. I believe a lot of stuff Lil Rod said, and it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, what happened to Lil Rod's case? I think Lil Rod probably got the wrong attorney or something. I don't know. I don't know. But Lil Rod said something about like, excuse me, um, excuse me. Lil Rod said something about like, I think a woman was trying to make him do something. You know what I'm saying? Like she was trying to get it on with him or something like that. In a restroom or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But you know, I will. What I remember from Lil Rod is like people kept trying to, you know, like Boogie said in the song, put the on me. Hey, you better on me. You see, but he didn't want it. Yeah, nah, he just didn't want it. But he said somebody was trying to put that on him. And, you know, for the most part, I believe it. And let me tell you why. Because Diddy, you know. Now I believe it 100%, y'all. Because Diddy was into voyagism, or however you say it, okay? Which is ultimately seeing people do the hanky panky. Let me tell y'all something. All kinds of stuff start running through my head because y'all know how I am. I'm always thinking, right? So I said, that's interesting. Okay? That's interesting. Really, really interesting. Because let me just say this. What if, I don't know, y'all. It's a lot of thought there. It's a lot of thought there. First and foremost, let me say this. Diddy and Ray J, they linked some kind of way. They are linked some kind of way. Okay? They are. They linked. And I can't figure out what the link is, but I will say this. The Kardashians and Diddy are linked too. Kris Jenner has a link to Diddy too. I'm starting to wonder if Diddy had something to do with Kim K and Ray J's S tape now. You see? It was definitely people around. Okay? It was definitely, well, they say it was people watching. People in the room. Okay? So if I'm thinking like I'm thinking, Miss Preston, girl. Another thing, I was telling y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? And don't forget to comment in a while. Let me know what y'all thinking. What's on your mind? And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if y'all haven't already. And so Then my mind also thought about how I said Diddy seemingly likes to put people together. Yeah, I believe that. It's just something about it. Like, I told y'all, Kanye said if it wasn't, Kanye said Diddy had a lot to do with his some of the choices that he made. You know what I'm saying? Like even marrying Kim. I said interesting. You know what I'm saying? So what if Diddy was putting people together? Because I think he be doing that. You know what I'm saying? No, there's not no truth to that. Um, putting couples together. Like maybe what if Diddy had something to do with Tiana and Iman? You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm going with it. I think what if he like putting people together because he want to see them sleep together? Mm, that's a thought. You see? That's a thought. So like when the whole got tapes, what if Diddy really do got tapes of celebrities? But maybe, just maybe. You see, because even Whack 100, y'all know Whack 100 swears up and down that Nipsey Hussle or something, 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 something. Just wasn't right. Like Keith Sweat said. And I'm like, well, maybe. What if Lauren London and Nipsey was paid to just sleep together? What if they were paid to sleep together? Just let him watch. You know, I just started thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a fact, y'all. That's not factual and actual information. It's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every now and then my thoughts will run wild. I mean, it just is what it is. But like, what if like that was his thing? You know what I'm saying? He just like literally like proposition people to do the nasty. You know what I'm saying? Let them watch them do the nasty. I mean, it's possible. It's even possible that um they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? That's a possibility too. Like I invited y'all over. I want y'all to do the nasty. Persistent that y'all do the nasty. You know what I'm saying? I'm insisting that y'all do the nasty for real. Like I'm kind of pressuring y'all, but y'all don't know y'all being filmed. Like I don't know. But yeah, that's just another thought too. But yes, yes, y'all. This Diddy stuff is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately crazy. But then at the same time, it's sad. It is really, really sad to see how this man is like crashed. Crashed his empire like that. Like that is wild. And then I'm looking at them kids and I feel like them kids, they not like they little dark one. That little dark one. Christian gonna need therapy. I need some type of therapy. All of this seemingly has humbled them. Yeah, humbled them a lot. I don't, yeah, they're a little different now. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? I don't see, you know, um, but we'll see. We'll have to see though too, cause it is what it is. That still is his daddy. He is his daddy child, and he got that. You know what I'm saying? He got that. He got puff confidence. You know what I'm saying? I give him that. He got that confidence. And that's why I said it's interesting to see him, a little bit more humble now. Seriously, I think that it is what it is. I just felt like, probably a little shame, you know, embarrassed, a little bit, um, by their father's actions, and like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to see what that man did, And I know they keep saying he had help. Yeah, he had help. But it was single-handedly. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no different than seemingly. It ain't no different. Like they were selfish. You know what I'm saying? They were selfish. And they brought a lot of other people into their BS. Um, yeah, and I'll take it a step further. That was one of Diddy's biggest mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Having this person do that and this person do that. Like, I'm telling y'all now. I ain't telling y'all how to be criminals or nothing like that, but like, yeah, now. You know, Puff should have, like, for instance, when he was looking for Cassie, he supposed to call Cassie himself. That's it. Cassie. If Cassie don't answer, then I ain't talking to Cassie. You see, when he was looking for her, he should have went to go get her himself. You know, it damaged him to get other people involved. You know, he should have left other people out of it. He should have never been getting scripts in his employees' names. He should have never been sending them to go holler at One Stop. You see, um, yeah, Miss Pressure Girl like made a lot of mistakes along the way. You see, it just is what it is, and like I could see that. You know, I could see that. That's why a lot of celebrities is watching this case. A lot of celebrities need to be watching this case. They better be trying to figure it out. You see, yeah, they better be trying to figure out what they can and can't and like what is and ain't what. Yeah, you see, Miss Pressure Girl, you know, and maybe they'll think about it before they have such and such go do this and such and such go do that. You know, child, it just is what it is. But today, somebody named Mia is gonna testify in court, but child, I'll be there, okay? So shout out to that. I will be there. Y'all know I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere to get to see. And this Diddy stuff is like, yeah, you know, it's challenging. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging because you got to get up. You see, I told you I ain't never took this many notes in school. You see, since I left school. But it is what it is, Miss Pressure Curl. I'm having a funky good time, and I'm gonna be right here. I'll be right here, each and every time. So I don't know if I'm coming back at 2 o'clock today. I'll see. Okay, I will see. I plan on it. But it is what it is. Y'all know I ain't forcing nothing. You see, in the news, if it ain't newsing, then I just gotta wait on it. You see, I'm just gonna have to wait on it. But it is what it is. Shout out to everybody who came through. I appreciate you all. I'm about to climb back in my bed for now. But I'll be back later on. I'll see y'all later. Bye.